Yeah, what's an obstacle to an optimist? What are wings to a man on a rocket ship? I'm heading.
You guys mind if I join you?
Yeah, man.
Sure, please. Okay, well, first of all, welcome to Cafe Maca. My name is Chef Anjo. I'm the owner, chef, executive chef, everything else in between. And I think you've all gathered here today, which is kind of amazing that you can find the time to do that. And I want to say thank you.
Thank you for having
And
us.
of course, you're welcome.
Yeah, man.
Thank you to the team that organized this as well. The camera guys who are here today. Well, the idea is, kind of getting to know each other, getting a good understanding of what it means to be creative. I'll start with myself. I guess my art is culinary arts. I'm a chef. Been cooking for maybe 10, 11 years. Professionally, I've been cooking for 6 years. And so, yeah, I think this is just kind of the thing that made me fall in love with like expressing myself, And I think like it's just awesome that I get to have the space with people who also find that using their voice in whatever medium it may be is where we can all kind of, I guess, congregate, if you want to say that
Word.
And yeah, so one, the space this space is not exactly what I thought it was going to be. Like no clue that this is what I was going to open first. 4 years ago, I was selling macaroons from my apartment. That was like one of the first pastries I ever made. Not ever made, but that I perfected. And from there, it just grew into something where it's just like, if you think something, you can bring it to life.
Facts.
And yeah, from there, it's just how do you create something from a space of love or curiosity, and also just finding new limits that you can push. And so this is what this space is about: just to be yourself, express yourself, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, the name is Kapena. First of all, thank you very much for having me. Beautiful place you've got here. Like visual artist, painter, thinker, brother, friend, leader, thinker. That's what I am, and it's been a journey to be part of this umbrella called art.
Got you.
And for me, it's a lot of pain. It's a lot of expressions. It's a lot of little by little hurdles that I had to get over just to be where I am right now. And yeah, I'm very, very happy to be here. And when Mindful Maestros came calling, I knew it was about time to destigmatize mental health. It's about time that men feel free to come out and express themselves,
Yeah.
And I'm just thankful to the grace of God to be here. And yeah, with all of my challenges that I'm going through as a man personally, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to be here. And thank you very much for this opportunity.
We appreciate you being here, man.
Thank you, brother.
Sure.
My name is Skrypt,
Mm.
Skrypt. I am a lyricist, rapper, wordsmith, call it what you will. I'm also a radio presenter. I am also a sports agent. So I wear a few hats. But yeah, I do have a passion for the conversations that don't happen, which is usually just, men going through what men go through.
Yeah.
Usually, or what we see typically in the spaces that we occupy is that men walk these journeys together, but in isolation.
Sure.
So we're all on the same little, journeys, but we don't really connect the dots the way we should. So yeah, man, it's always interesting to get with the other gents and see maybe you guys have the gems that I need to go forward and connect the dots in my life. But yeah, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys love what you do. There's purpose in everything, and let's just align what it is that we do. Yeah, we are the dots.
I don't know if we're doing this in a line, like a classroom, but I'm gonna go. My name is Waters. I am a singer-songwriter, multi-award winning as well. Outside of the country, but not really in Namibia. But started singing when I was 14. Got into music later, probably like 2020. It all started for me in 2013. I'm sure we're going to get into exactly why we did what we do, what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah, man, music is the only thing I know. It's everything to me. And yeah, I make music, I sing. That's it. That's pretty much me.
Welcome, Waters.
Thanks, man.
My name is Nambowa Malua. I go by Namzi. Yeah, most people call me Namzi. Um, I'm a visual artist, in general, a visual communicator. Yeah, I don't know how I got here, but now I'm here. I think there was a lot of work behind all of this, behind this lovely encounter. It's an honor to be here with all of you guys. And yeah, I like to communicate visually, and I think there's a lot of power in that. Yeah, that's it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility to be an artist, to communicate effectively, and to get an audience, and most importantly, to make a living out of it. So yeah, yeah, I think this is great. As Angela said, it's not an easy topic to talk about, especially among men, mental health. Yeah, but I think it's easier digestible by creators. Yeah, because we put ourselves there in so many different ways, and I think we can do this. Yeah, we can do this effectively, and yeah, let's go at it. Let's have fun. Yeah.
Last but not least, I'm Jean Cloche Damuita, but my stage name is JC Nazarii. That's what I go by, largely, or just JC. I also wear a few hats from modeling, acting, a visual artist as well. So I think it's quite a number of things I do. Depth all, I have my feet and fingers everywhere in the creative industry and creative spaces. And I'm honored to be here. So I'll just leave it as such. I think everything else will unfold as we go on with the conversation. Yeah.
I think art selected me, you know, and before I knew the title itself, what it means, you know, um, I was just painting to express myself as a little kid. My childhood wasn't easy. I had a rough one. Yeah, I always get so halfly emotional when I go to that part of myself because the child in us never age. You know, you always have that child that you're constantly racing, trying to let the kid know it's safer to come out and play.
Yeah.
So these lights are not here to scare you, but they're there to show you how great you can be. You know, and yeah, so I just started out as expressing myself. I was a loner growing up, never really did well in circles. You know, I always ran to my little basement and just be by me, you know, and little did I know, you know, sometimes you find yourself doing something and you think you are doing that very thing just because you are running away time, but God is using that as something to keep your mind busy so that you don't get distracted into the wrong things, you know. And for me, growing up in the Gunene, Okuo, young Himba kid, you know, I was my father's son, and when he passed away, he sent me over to grow up as a stepchild in a different household. And obviously, environments are not always that accommodative for someone that is not very much part of the house. And yeah, so for me, after that, grew up as a stepchild in that house, and then I was introduced to rugby. I saw that you could hit someone and not get in trouble. You know, I was like, this is it. I can really express my anger, you know. I can channel it into someone. I can hit this person and nobody's going to hold me accountable for that, but they're going to praise me.
You get praised, yeah.
You see, so the more I started doing that, I started to become good at it.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? And I got a rugby scholarship to go to the Bulls, South Africa. And I had to pack my bags and leave to a whole new geographical location, different cultures, language. You know, I had to go adapt as a 18-year-old. So I left Namibia to South Africa, played my game there. You know, the xenophobia started actually while I was in South Africa, and that's when I really started experiencing the art of fear. you know, because I'm tall, I'm dark, and South Africans are predominantly short people, and you can spot me from a distance. So I was always constantly looking like over my shoulders and always in prayer, like, God, please keep me. You know, I have nothing back home to go back to.
Yeah.
I have to do what I have to do here. There is no way behind. I just have to go ahead. You know, so yeah, but like I said earlier, little did I know. I thought at the time that I was called for rugby. I thought, this is it, man. I'm called to be a rugby player. I'm gonna play, walk myself into the Bulls senior team, represent Namibia, go to the World Cup. I thought this was going to be the narrative.
Yeah.
But that was just a vehicle that God was using, you know, just to bring me to this moment to where He said, you know what, I'm going to remove the rugby part now. And it's very interesting. Sorry, we were busy. I was busy representing Namibia against the baby box in Stellenbosch, and I just felt something die inside of me. You know, I just felt like it's like a candle being put out. And I remember on the field, I prayed and I said, God, what are you doing? But the game is going on. And I didn't see this guy. He came from the side and then he hits me in my head and I just pass out. I woke up in the hospital and doctors did a whole brain scan and they saw that, no, I'm cool. There's nothing life threatening, you know? And while laying in that bed, I just knew in the hospital, I just knew this is it. Not because of the injury, but I think I just had a one-on-one chat with my higher self in that moment of the battlefield. And in between those four lines, you have men going against men. It's like high level of testosterone, you know, and you don't have time to think. You don't have time to actually audit how you feel at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for me, I had to make a decision. And when I got back home and I told my family, listen here, I don't want to play rugby anymore. I don't think this is it. It's like they literally wanted to hang me up the tree like a biltong. Like, your career is starting to kick off. You're one of the favorites who will represent Namibia into the World Cup. Why are you stopping now? But I said, I think it's time. You know, sometimes you need to know when something is over before God comes and stop it for you.
Right.
You see what I mean? So yeah, I pulled the plug. Felt like the wrong decision I had ever made in my life because at the time I had nothing going on for myself. You are giving up all this scholarship. You are giving up all this very thing that's basically putting food on your table. You know, and yeah, and long story short, lockdown happened, and then I happened to stumble myself in front of my canvas again. Just the thing of, let me see if I can draw. Let me see if I can still do this because I had left it for years.
Yeah.
You know, so I did a drawing of Martin Luther and I put it on social media and it started going on, shares and shares and shares and shares.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King. And before you know it, my phone was just blowing out and people were like, you know what, can you do this for me? Can we do that? And that's where we are today. I've been blessed. It's been a journey. Thank you to the grace of God. I've met amazing people like B2 Goals and partners, Bang Bang to F&B. These people have come through and it's been a great journey. Yeah.
Oh yeah, art, the calling, or however you want to say it. Comes to you most of the time, you know, like it's like an interruption for me. But for me, it has been a love since childhood.
Word.
Yeah, drawing wherever I could draw, you know, school books, mostly school books, textbooks. And I was also very lucky to have a bigger brother of mine, who himself is an artist. And I was kind of exposed to this environment from him deliberately. Yeah, I wasn't too sure at some point, but I got enough guidance to go into it. Go to Union, study art, which was hellish.
Yeah.
It was a journey. Yeah, and then I started working as a graphic designer, and that made me realize that I needed to be serious about art. Yeah, 8 to 5 every day, communication, deadlines, and all of that. Yeah, I mean, I was doing something that I was capable of doing, but it was something was missing. I felt miserable. The pay was good, but I still felt miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I had to make that decision, and these decisions are not easy, and it's a bold one. I quit. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go into full-time painting, illustration, freelancing, and then see what happens. 2014. Yeah, 2014. Yeah, yeah, it's interesting how we give time as artists. We never say how many years ago. We say the exact year, and it's up
Yes.
to you to make that
Exactly.
math.
The day, the man.
Yeah, that's how we communicate most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had my first solo exhibition, and I think I was very lucky to have a solo exhibition as a visual art, especially in Namibia. I see that the routine or the pattern is that as a young creator, your first involvement is usually in a group
Yeah.
exhibition, but
Yeah.
to have a solo as your first one, it fires you up. Yeah, it was good. It was terrible. Most of my paintings were wet.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. But then
You still have them.
I think there is a couple of them somewhere.
Yeah.
With some friends. Yeah, and yeah, that was my foot in this
Yeah.
this industry. Well, um, yeah, it hasn't been easy even after then. It still took quite a bit of time for me to properly integrate myself in the industry. Yeah, the journey for me or the decision is always from a sense of frustration. Like you feel something missing. There's a
Yeah.
void, and it's not necessarily money. It's just purpose. Yeah, it's always purpose. Yeah. So I'm grateful to be doing this.
But I wanted to ask a question just to piggyback off of what everyone was saying. The reasons we start things, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So sometimes it's out of like a need for a space to be yourself and desperation. And sometimes it's out of like, man, I'm so good at this, what could be?
Yeah, curiosity.
Curiosity,
Yeah.
right? Desperation and curiosity. Are the reasons you're doing what you're doing now still the same?
No.
Like,
No.
if it started with curiosity,
Yeah.
did it fall into desperation at some point? Has it been like peaks and troughs, or has it just been linear with it? Do you know what I mean?
Your question was it from desperation or?
No,
Or
Was it
is it
Desperation or
curiosity or desperation? Like the reasons you started doing what
Yeah.
you're doing, have they changed? Like your driving
Yeah.
factor, has it changed from the beginning? And I know like the mediums
Yeah.
have definitely expanded,
Yeah.
but the driving force, is it the same thing from day one?
Yeah.
You know?
I would say yes. Mine has been curiosity. Always been experimental, exploring, and then through trying out different things I knew I could do. Like music, it's something I also like did not know I was good until like going to it and like, I can also do music, and then I can play guitar, I can play keyboard, I can play trumpet as well. So all these things is like I can do all these things. I think for me it's like say curiosity. It's what drove me to this point, and I think it's what still drives me. I would say that definitely, yeah.
I think mine was being desperate. I think curiosity a little bit, but yeah, just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like for me, I think any artist or any creative would say that they come from a place of just being lonely.
Come on.
And that's where we find ourselves. And that's where we find ourselves being curious and also desperate. Me, I don't know, man. I was desperate to really, as I said, feel. And then also make other people feel exactly what I have felt.
Ladies.
And man, in that point of loneliness and just being alone, I was desperate to really have this kind of like friend in music, someone that understood me. So I think music was a person, not physically like he was here or she was here. It's like, yeah, it was like someone was there. Exactly. It's like someone was there the whole time.
Do you know what's so crazy?
Yeah.
So he's a family friend, right? And I knew him since he was
Yeah.
that 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, it's like he hid everything from us.
Everyone,
Like
bro.
when everyone's like, "Oh, you know, Junie sings." I was like, Nah, he
Nah,
doesn't.
nah, he doesn't.
When does it?
Because the one that's always in his room, he'll come say hi, then he'll go back. So the room had all the music.
Yeah.
So at least, I hear what you're saying
Yeah.
in terms of like wanting to be heard, because
Yeah,
we were all around you, but no one was around you comforting that passion of yours,
Yeah.
or even just acknowledging. you
yeah.
know?
Look,
So
my
it's crazy.
my parents, during exile, they went to Botswana, and from there they were in Polytechnic, and they got a scholarship to study in the States. So they were in the States for maybe like 17 years, and they came back, not 17, maybe 12 or less, but they came back right after independence. My dad came back with a lot, like many vinyls, like two, like this high, like just filled with soul music, Motown, R&B, a lot of Michael Jackson, a lot of Marvin Gaye, classics. You know what I mean?
I know, Rich.
So moments when I wasn't listening to Radio Wave, I would slap my dad's vinyls onto the vinyl player, bro, and I'll go in, and I'll try to mimic like Marvin Gaye, and that's how I got in. And I was like, that's me in my little world. And then as soon as my sister Harriet would come into the room, I'd be like, turn it off.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it is, man. I didn't want people to see who I was at the moment, who I was becoming. I don't know what it is. Was I ashamed? I don't know. Till this day, I cannot put my finger on it, but it felt so good to really just sing what you say. Like, for example, Marvin Gaye, just to sing like that whole thing. Not the sexual healing Marvin Gaye. Don't get me twisted.
Yeah.
The mercy Marvin Gaye. The what's going on Marvin Gaye. Like he was fighting for whenever there was war, he would just talk about it. Whenever people wanted peace, he would talk about it. People are afraid, they're in pain, he'll talk about it. That's the Marvin Gaye. That's where I come from. Waters means keep flowing. It means keep going in life no matter what comes your way, because you know, you just keep flowing, bro. Every river gets to the ocean. That's your biggest break, bro. And I keep telling that same old story. And it just you know what I mean?
You know, you just said something now that you didn't know what it was.
What?
You know, and earlier, and sometimes I don't know if you've seen the quote that says, "It is our light, but not our darkness, that most frightens us."
Yeah.
You know, we are afraid of that light.
Mm.
Like I want to remain in the shadows.
Because it's safe there.
Don't come tell me how good I am.
Man.
Let me stay hidden under the basement. You know,
Yeah.
and it takes a different type of
Caliber.
revealing of your nakedness to the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Now you get to see who I really am.
Yeah.
You get to see
Yeah.
my craft, my
Yeah.
art, everything about me.
Yeah.
And sometimes the basement kills most of us, and we stay there. We never come out.
Never come out.
We stay hidden forever.
It's a safe space. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.